Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sinta Pertiwi. The North American Indians. The first people to live in North America were the American Indians, Native Americans. According to religions and folk stories of many Indian groups, their earliest anchors arrived in North America from the inside of the earth. Modern scientists, however, believe that the first Native American came from Asia 15,000 to 80,000 years ago across the Bering Strait from the Siberia to Alaska. They were nomads. They did not live in one place, but instead were always on the moves as they looked for food. In other words, the first American Indians were hunters who followed the animals their food source during times of the migration from place to place. Together, nomadic people and the animals slowly migrate towards the south. These early inhabitants spread out all over the North American continents, now Canada, the United States, and Mexico. There was a great variety of language, religion, beliefs, and custom among the many tribes or groups of Indians. By the time the first Europe arrived, the Indians were living in several different cultural areas. The members of the various tribes in each center of the culture had frequent contact with one another and shared similar characteristics, but they didn't have much in common with tribes in other culture areas. For example, the Pima and the Pipego tribes of the southwestern desert had similar customs and habits, but their lifestyle was completely different from that of the Sioux who live on the plains, the Apaches in the southwest, and the Kukudal and the Tlingit on the northwest coast, are the Natchez and Tonkawas on the Gulf Coast and in Florida. The lifestyle of the people who live in each culture are reflected the geography of that area. The inhabitants of the northwest coast, now British Columbia, Canada, live by hunting and fishing, but they didn't lead a nomadic life. They didn't need to follow animals from place to place because they could take advantage of the resort where they were living. The oceans, the river produced salmon, halibut, and many other fish. The forests were rich in animal life. They overdared elk and the bear as well as smaller animals. In the forest, the inhabitants could also find berries to eat and wood for boats, furniture, and houses. Your geography influenced other areas of life too. Hunting was seasonal work. Best in the summer, 3/4 the tribal members were very busy in certain time of years, but in other season, they had the opportunity to spend time in the creative activities such as woodworking and art, from the which the Northwest Coast Indian became well known. Unlike the inhabitants of the Northwest Coast, the Indians of the Eastern Plains had an agricultural society that lived in farming communities and raised crops and corn, beans, gourds, and tobacco. The members of these tribes lived differently from the those in Northwest because there were a few churches on the flatlands. Their houses were of earth instead of wood. While the food was growing, the people stayed in their community yet after the harvest when they had brought in the crops. The Indian rode was on the horses they had gotten from Spain's farmers to hunt buffalo. During the months when they were looking for buffalo, the lifestyle of the hunters was similar to that of the nomadic tribes on the western plains. To these plains, Indian both eastern and westerns, the buffalo was important. It provided many necessities: meat, skin for tips, houses that people could carry, counting, and materials for spawns, bags, and bats. The buffalo hunt was also central to my artistic, social, and religious activity. When Europe arrived on the North American continent several hundred years ago, the Native American old way of the life began to change. The difference between Europe and the Indians' value sound led to difficulties. As the British moved west, they took over more and more of the land for themselves. Native Americans lost not only their land but also their lives too, which spread wars and to sickness that were not existed in North American before and Europe came. But they had lost something even more important, their sense of the identity. When the Plains Indians, for instance, lost their hunting grounds, and when Buffalo became almost extinct, the most important characteristic of their society, the buffalo hunt was gone.